Peace, power, and prosperity. Rob Blackstorm here. How's everybody doing? Oh, I want to add on a little bit to what I was talking about yesterday as far as the Kundalini Fire. After I did my video, Spirit kept talking to me, kept kind of haunting me, right, to bring this back up and make this a little bit more, give a little bit more understanding so you could kind of see what I was talking about, especially about the pungent herbs and why taking these pungent herbs from now to November 5th is necessary. And we're going to continue to use Metal Netter Volume 1. This is going to be a real quick video, not going to take too much of your time. I just want to go over a little bit why we're taking these pungent herbs, such as uh, garlic, mustard greens, right? All these different herbs that we would take in order to raise the body's temperature. Cheney root, sarsaparilla, right? All these different herbs we're taking in order to cultivate this Kundalini fire within us. So let's go back over this real quick again and talk about it. So it says you're parasympathetic. I broke this down in the other video. I'm not going to go into depth like I did. But there's two different parts of your nervous system, parasympathetic and sympathetic. Parasympathetic nervous system is how you tap into the paranormal. That is the feminine part of your nervous system. The sympathetic is the masculine part. So it says your parasympathetic your paranormal has just gotten the upper hand just after being in equilibrium or balance. We're in Libra season with the sympathetic. So right now, your body is in balance, okay? Literally, you're in homeostasis. The autumnal equinox, which we just had on the 22nd and the 23rd, where we had equal day and equal night. All right, now we're at the 20, while I'm recording this is the 25th. So now we're having more darkness. It's going to get darker as time goes by, right? So it says as the sun is setting, your body is cold and dry. Why? Because the weather is changing, right? Summer is over. So it's getting colder and it's getting drier, meaning there's not a lot of moisture in the air because when it's sunny, right, and when it's hot, what happens? You sweat. Your body produces a lot of water. Right now, your body is getting colder and your body is drying out, aka ashy skin, right, which is what people see when their skin is cold and dry, right? You see the ashy skin, right? So you have to moisturize your skin. Right. But so even though once the sun is setting, your body's getting cold and dry, your nervous system is in a state of equilibrium. Okay. So your nervous system, again, is in that state of balance, which is a good thing, right? Your nervous system deals with your emotions. It's how you connect to the outside world and connect to the people around it. But most importantly, again, emotions produce forms, right? So when you have an emotion, it comes out in your not only body language, also your verbal language, but the way you interact with people in the world, right? So it's very important to understand the role that emotions play and the way emotions affect the nervous system. Basically, your emotions hardwire to your nervous system and they influence your behavior now and in the future. Okay. So your nervous system is basically the hard wiring of your emotions in a sense. It's your nerve endings, right? So it is the optimum time. So now I'm saying it's the optimum time for Aquarian the Oracle receiving counsel. So that's any type of oracles, tarot card readings, I Chings, Ifa divinations, right? Now is the time that you want to do this type of thing so you could get a grasp of what the future holds for you and what you should be working on to prepare yourself not only for now, but also for the winter solstice, which will be coming up in December, right? Now we are in a Tahuti cycle, right? Or a thought cycle. So Tahuti is the god of wisdom, science, mathematics, you name it, right? Writing, literature, right? Anything that has to do with new inventions or inventions that deal with the hidden secrets of the cosmos, such as mathematics, such as science, such as quantum physics, right? All these things, spirituality, all these things that are governed under Tahuti or thought would be things that are going to be heightened right now because your body is in a state of balance or in a state of equilibrium. All right. So it says a 12-year oracle receiving counsel. Okay. and studying the ancient wisdom as the basis for deciding on the course of your actions in the coming cycle. So definitely is now a time for you to be reading, okay, for you to be studying, for you to be gathering information, right? This is the ideal time. It's getting colder, right? The sun is setting earlier. So as we go, right, it's the 25th, but as we go in from October, because this is from September 21st to November 5th. So as we go from the 21st to November 5th, you're going to see when we get close to that November 5th point, it's going to start getting dark, at least here in the East Coast, right? But mostly where you are too, it's going to start getting dark around 5, 6 p.m., right? The sunset's is gonna set earlier, right? So you may wake up in the morning and be going out to work and it's dark, and being in the office all day, and then coming home, right? And it's dark as well. So where do you get sunlight, right? Us, you melanated beings, right? People that are activated by electromagnetic frequencies or electromagnetic light, right? Or the electromagnetic light spectrum, right? We convert the melanin in your body converts light to energy. It converts light to energy. So if you're going to work all day, right? You're going to work in the morning, you're not seeing the sun, you're inside an office or stuck indoors someplace, right? You're not getting a lot of sunlight, or because it's cold, it's just cloudy, it's not a lot of sun, right? And then you're coming home after 5, after 6, after 7, and it's dark again, and you're not getting that sunlight. You're losing literally that fire, right? You're losing the light that you would naturally get from the sun. So the herbs that you're getting, these quote unquote pungent herbs that you will be getting, I deleted the tab, so let me just pull it back up. These pungent herbs that you're going to be taking in or adding with your food, right, is very important so you could maintain that connection to solar energy, right? So chilies, garlics, leeks, onions, mustard greens, radishes, turnips, raw spinach, right? You could get spinach, right? I do this myself, spinach as instead of lettuce for my salads when I get a salad, right? You can get it with raw spinach, right? You can add garlic to any type of pasta or anything like that. Onions, okay, same thing. You can add that to any type of food, sandwiches, turkey burgers, right? Chilies. You guys cook mustard greens, right? All these things are very important. But if you just want to keep it basic, right? And we discussed this more in depth yesterday. Again, I don't want to take too much of your time. Start drinking ginger tea in the morning, all right? To just start it off, okay? Ginger tea, when you're sick, also, these are things that they tell you to take, all right? Put onions in your shoe, right? Things like that, right? I'm not going to suggest you eat raw onion. You want to eat that with some food, right? You can put that in your salads as well. Put that on your sandwiches, right? Things like that. Chilies. You can add chilies to your food, right? Some people eat chilies raw. That's your thing. That's your thing. But the key is eating these things is to supplement the fire, right? And the heat that is in the air. As I was told yesterday, melanin actually gives off oxygen. Oxygen is actually fire. So when you're talking about oxygen, right, there's something called oxidation. And oxidation, that's why they have foods that are antioxidants, such as berries, right? Any type of berry, blackberry, blueberry, raspberry, those are considered antioxidants. The reason they're antioxidants and they help fight aging is because they bring more water to the body, right? What herbs like this, fire herbs like chilies, this is why this is the best time. And really in the summer, you shouldn't be eating a lot of spicy foods or foods that stimulate too much fire, because it'll lead to you being angry. It'll lead to you being upset. It'll lead to you being volatile, right? This is when the summer happens, when you're taking these type of herbs, okay? So this is why you want to lay off and drink more water, eat more salads during the summer. But now we're going into the fall, so you could get something like, and we showed this yesterday, how the pungent herbs literally are right in the middle of your tongue, and you can see that Kundalini snake, right? That Kundalini energy, which we discussed, that Wajat energy, which we discussed yesterday in the live, going straight up the tongue, also bringing you at balance. So now is a good time to get that. And of course, you could get similar, just ginger and garlic, right? You could eat a clove of garlic. It's not going to kill you. And this is what they would give you if you were sick or had a flu, right? Because when you are sick or have a flu or something like that, or a cold, what these things do is they stimulate fire, they stimulate chi, they stimulate prana, they stimulate that Kundalini fire that goes up the Sushumna or the spine, right? And leads to Ida and Pingala, right? Or if you're using the Kemetic, which we talked about yesterday, Nekabet, Nebhet is also the name of Nekabet, Nebhet, which is a deity that is represented by the vulture, but the vulture is something that feeds off the dead, right? The vulture feeds off dead. So this is basically you feeding off the dead in you, and now you're taking it up to a higher plane or raising the frequency of this dead flesh and now making it something that is godlike or God powerful. As we discussed yesterday, the vulture flies the highest in the sky, flies higher than any other bird in the sky, right? You would think it's an eagle, you would think it's a falcon, but no, it's actually a vulture, and particularly the lappet-faced vulture that comes straight out of Africa, all right? So, and you could get these different herbs, coriander, cumin, and fennel, cloves, right? These are also things, if you have this book, Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, okay? You could also use these in your Libra rituals, in your Scorpio rituals, right? Which are the two signs that we're going to be going through while up until November 5th, while we're in this Tahuti cycle. And again, the main reason we're doing that is to stir our inner fire because of the lack of sunlight that we will be receiving. Now, if you are Caucasian watching this, this really doesn't apply to you, right? This is not racism or reverse racism or anything silly like that, right? A animal, right? You could have a panther, a lion, and a cheetah, right? They're all considered big cats. But the panther is totally different than the cheetah. The cheetah is totally different than the lion, right? So you're going to treat them differently if you take them to the veterinarian, right? You're not going to treat them, or the animal doctor, or whatever it would be, right? Dr. Doolittle, right? You're not going to treat them the same way, even though they're all considered big cats and all considered felines, right? You wouldn't treat a tiger the same way you treat a house cat. So it's the same thing where, and the fault of modern medicine is that they treat us all the same. They treat us all as quote unquote human, but just because we're quote unquote human and mammals in a similar meat suit, the same way a lion and a panther are totally different, right? You can't treat them the same. You can't give them the same medicines. You can't give them the same tinctures. You can't give them the same cures and remedies, right? Because they're different, even though they are the same quote unquote species. They are different in their expressions. They are different in their personalities. They're different in the way that they live. So they have to be treated according to their lifestyle, their personality, and their unique biology. So this is particularly for you melanated beings, right? And when I say U melanated, I'm talking about the U melanin, not just the skin melanin. The U melanin is that gold that is in the body, all right? So as we discussed yesterday, your day, so this is why it says your day begins at this point, right? Your day begins in the evening, because when the sun is setting, it's setting early. And now that you have this evening time and your body is in a state of equilibrium and you have cultivated this fire with eating these herbs and taking these things in, right? And also you're fighting off colds that occur during the winter season when your body is getting cold and dry. So it says when the sun rises, your plans for the day must have already been impressed upon your spirit. Okay. So this is the key to the success. Nekabet and Wajet, which we discussed yesterday. I'm not going to go deep into that. Check out the live. All right. Or imbalance upon your brow. Again, this is just talking about the equilibrium. Ong Hang Kashang. This is a mantra, you could say. So you just be Ong Hang Kashang. And you would say this over and over in your head as you are doing your meditations or your meditations breaths, right? Easy meditation. Breathe in 4 times, breathe out 8 times. Put the tongue to the roof of your mouth, close your mouth, breathe out the nose, inhale through the nose, inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. On your inhale, you're going to push the abdomen out. On the exhale, you're going to push the abdomen in. All right. And you can look up how to meditate. There's a billion videos. Focus on what works for you. Okay. Before the so it says before the arrival of the autumn equinox, it is auspicious to cleanse the system by fasting. All right. Myself, I have been fasting not by choice before this equinox. Ironically, it just and I want to talk about this because this is how spirit works. You know, before I even read this, if you look back on my old videos, I was talking about that I was I was fasting intermittently without me being conscious of it, right? I think it's actually, I was talking about this on the video with Adika Butler that I did when we were talking about his book, The Homie and Model the Homie, where I'm taking, I was just fasting. My body was just fasting naturally. I wouldn't eat anything during the day. You know, I wasn't hungry at all. It was just naturally happen. So this is what happens when you are in tune and when you are following nature or these moon cycles, when you are dealing with these, understanding how to harness these energies from these solar flares, when you are going out at noon, right? Noon is a very auspicious time for harvesting energy, okay? Just being out in the sun in this melanated skin suit, when the noon sun is at its peak, right? Between noon and 1, you get, and it feels different, right? It feels totally different. I talked to a couple of people who I told about doing this, and they're like, yeah, the noon sun feels different, especially this summer, right? So now we're going into the fall. We don't have the luxury of getting the intensity of that heat, especially those on the East Coast, right? But everywhere we're going into a winter season. So you want to take it, and it's going to get dark earlier. So you definitely want to take advantage of this to build this Kundalini fire and to raise your frequency and to be at a state of balance so you can manifest what you need to manifest. Okay. And you want to, and again, these pungent herbs help clean the respiratory and mucus system. So they help you become healthy. All right. Keep you from getting sick during the winter, right? Who wants to be sick? Who wants to be laid in bed with the cold or the flu, right? You get the cold. Most people, they're getting the cold and the flu now, they think that they're going to die, or they call it the CV-19, okay? So reducing your salt intake from this point to the next equinox, is very crucial. The holidays are coming, Thanksgiving, Christmas time, people are with family, so you definitely just want to, not to say not to eat Thanksgiving dinner or anything like that, but you want to use discretion, right? If you're going to eat the Thanksgiving and grandmama cooks salty food and things like that, and you got this knowledge, because now knowledge is power, right? But knowledge is not power until you utilize it. So now that you have this knowledge on how to take care of your vehicle, right? This is your car, the car for your soul, all right? This is the car for your soul, and the spirit is the gas, okay? So now that you know that how to manage this vehicle as you are going on the road, right, which is basically this world that you live in, you're on a road, on a journey in life, okay, on your marathon during this life. So as you're going on this journey, now you know how to maintain your body during these seasons. This is why this is a great book. Also, Metal Nettle Volume 1. If you don't have the book, get the PDF, all right? And again, so this is why you want to take these herbs. I didn't really discuss this last video, so I just want to do a quick video about it to dive deeper into how to stir this Kundalini and how to awaken it. And hopefully during this, if you are doing your meditations, if you are tapping in, if you're tapped into the oracle or tapped into a tarot card reader, again, you could email me if you're looking to do a reading, or go to your favorite tarot card reader or oracle reader. It's not about me or my ego. It's about you getting right. It's about you getting to where you say you want to go. It's about you manifesting the things that you want to manifest, okay? And again, you could tap in by using this particular mantra, okay? Very powerful. Something I've used before, and definitely it does wonders, all right? So I just want to talk about that real quick. We want to keep this under 20 minutes. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll be going live later with the Moon Mama and Divine Feminine Work. So we're going to be talking about this new moon in Libra today. Yeah. Peace, power, and prosperity. Rob Blackstone. Love y'all.